Hello, this is David Smith. I'm still at the Develop Conference in Brighton in the south of the UK. I'm pleased to have with me Colin Anderson, who is Chief Exec of the world's first digital toy factories. The company is called Denki. Colin, please, can you introduce yourself?
I certainly can. My name is Colin Anderson, and I'm the Managing Director and co-founder of Denki, the world's first digital toy factory, as you rightly say.
And tell us a little bit more about Denki and what you do.
Denki is a company we set up in 2000, so we've been going almost getting on for 12 years now, which makes us pretty venerable in this sort of industry. And we set up, we'd all been originally at larger developers, and we were getting tired of spending 3 to 4 years developing games. We really wanted to find a new way of developing. So the primary focus for Denki, certainly in the first few years, was to learn how to build games efficiently and professionally, because we'd seen too much of it being done other ways. So we set up in 2000, and for the next 10 years or so, we've built about getting on for 200 games, I think, thereabouts. Mostly on interactive digital television, which is a platform that very few people outside of the games industry, very few people within the games industry know. It's a platform, primarily it's been in the UK and the US up until now, but that are certainly the territories we've been working in. But as far as I'm concerned, it was the first properly digital platform in the world, in that it had a kind of prototype app store when we got involved in 2001. It had digital distribution, so you could literally release a game on Friday and you know by the Monday if it was a hit. It had 6 million potential customers that could actually pay. So there was micro payment transactions. Even back then, that was sort of pre-PayPal or anything like that. So for that whole time, we've been focused on building new types of games, exploring new platforms, particularly smaller, more limited technology platforms, and really just honing our craft of making games so that we can make them better and better.
Thank you. And I think previously you worked at the world-renowned DMA Design. How did you come to set up Denki in the first place?
Yeah, I ran the audio department at DMA Design for 7 years before I set up Denki, and that was the catalyst, I guess, which provided me with the opportunity to do that. By the time I came to set up Denki, I already had 7 years experience in the industry, which back then sounded like a lot. Not nearly as much as I have now, but back then it sounded like I was a veteran. And yeah, it was all the contacts I built up during that time. It was the exposure to the development methods. It was seeing what was being done right and what was being done wrong. That was really the fuel, if you like, that I took and then thought, well, I think we could do that differently and better. And it just so transpired the company was moving in different directions. And it felt like the right time to move on. I was working on interactive audio, and we'd done a lot of audio in games. We had won several awards and lots of critical acclaim. And I could see that it wasn't really going to be changing much for the foreseeable future. So I thought, time to take a bit of a turn at the traffic lights.
Very good. And here you are today. And but why do you consider Denki to be a special place to work?
Well, for me, Denki is a special place to work because of the team of people that we have working there. The main thing is that they are all absolutely committed to learning about the craft of making games. For them, it's not enough just to make a game, get out the door, and so on. Every time we go through that process, we want to learn what we did wrong last time, figure out what we can do this time to make it special, and for future, what lessons we can learn. So it's just a huge learning environment all the time, and that for me is incredibly motivating.
Fantastic. And you're based up in Dundee. Why would you say Dundee is a great place to live and to work?
Well, Dundee is the home of gaming in Scotland, and primarily that was historical in that we had, well, first the Sinclair ZX Spectrum was built there, and from that we had a lot of amateur programmers who were there. From that we had DNA design and the first commercial successes, and then two huge franchises were built there. We had Lemmings back in 1991 and Grand Theft Auto back in 1997. And they just acted as huge talent magnets that drew an incredible cross section of motivated, talented people into that area. So as a place to build an interactive team, the skills you have on your doorstep are second to none, certainly in Scotland, and are easily comparable with anything sort of in southeast of England, Guildford, Brighton, etc. So there's that, and also it's just a fantastic city. It's a great place to live. I really like it because it's one of those cities that's small enough that everyone knows people and things can happen fast for the city when you need to, but big enough that you have that critical mass of just people and ideas and infrastructure that makes it possible to run a business. And it's a great place to live and to stay with a family.
Fantastic. And finally, Colin, what advice would you give a job seeker looking to apply for a job with Denki?
Same advice as I would give the job seeker looking to join any games industry related business. It's all about doing, less about saying what you can do. It's all about evidence. Making games is a craft, and in any craft, the way to get better at it is to repeat the process over and over. It's like I don't know, it's like a joiner, or a cabinet maker. If you're passionate about making cabinets, not only will you be able to make cabinets and show that you can make cabinets, you will be able to demonstrate by showing all these cabinets that you made on the way that actually didn't work out so well. So there's a waste process in just pass through making games, and that waste product that you generate is proof of the commitment you have to your craft. So for me, when I interview people, the first thing I want to see is what have you made, what have you done. And I don't care whether you're applying to be a musician or whether it's an artist, a programmer, a designer, a producer, a writer. It doesn't matter what the skill set is. If you put in the hours to learn your craft, you will have things you can contribute. So that would be my advice. Just get out there and do it.
Fantastic advice. Colin Anderson, MD at Denki. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Pleasure.